Hi guys, welcome to our channel, and today we're staying in our garden. We will be harvesting a bunch of onions and tomatoes that are really ripe, so join me today in my small garden. These are the row of onions I have, and sorry they're kind of covered with weeds. I haven't been keeping up with my weeding, so they are very buried in here. But you can see, pull out these, and they're the medium size. I have two different kinds of onions this year, but the most I have right now is the Walla Wallas. I'm harvesting some of the onions, and I also have took some beets for tonight's dinner, and also some cucumbers. I like to put it in my water. So the one thing you know that onions are ready is when their stem is bent like that. That means they're ready to be pulled out. So we'll pull one and show you. And this is supposed to be a medium-sized Walla Walla onions. I grew two varieties this year. The red ones, which are like the shallots, and these Walla Wallas. Some are medium, some are small, and some are huge. I will show you a huge one. Right here. That's huge. Put it in the pile. And here's my tomatoes. If you can see, they're fighting for space. And so I have a bunch of cherry tomatoes. There's some huge beef ones over there. Some early bush girls right here. And I'll show you all these Roma tomatoes. There's so many. See more right there. That's a big one. It doesn't look like it's big because I'm kind of far back, but that one's huge. See, here's the big one I told you about. These guys aren't ready yet. That huge guy. There you go. Pretty. Love it. Here's ready ones that we're gonna pick. So yummy. I'll also be harvesting some of my peppers. These are the Anaheim peppers that are slightly spicy or hot. And right now they're growing pretty well. They loving the heat because I think we're gonna have a heat waves again in a couple of days. There's a volunteer red lettuce from last year. Here's the corn. They're getting really tall. And my sunflowers, this one is like about 9 foot tall. And I haven't seen any flowers yet. This might be the flower, I have no idea. So we'll see in the next few weeks. And here's my patch of tomatoes that are free from Joe's, if you remember from my last video. These are also getting a bunch of tomatoes. And there's a bunch of green ones. And they're not quite ready yet, but boy, there's a lot in there. And these are from the Joe's, the free pile that they were gonna toss in the garbage, and I'm glad that I salvaged some of them because they are plentiful. The beans, I've been plucking on my beans too as well, because every time I have stir fry or I needed something, I come in here and pick some. And here's some of them left, and they're still trying to produce more. Yeah. Some got eaten though by bunnies, or I'm not sure what, but it's all right. And these guys, I'm leaving them to get mature so I can have the seeds for next year. There's some here. They're really good too. They're so tender. I have here my eggplants. They're just starting to bloom. So here's the bloom. And these, I can see some are growing already, which is right here. They're the Japanese variety. And I have my cucumbers. Cucumbers are, like I showed you, there were 3 that I just grabbed for the day. There's some right here, and there's a few more under these leaves. Let me see. I think they're in here somewhere. I'm just not too organized and not keeping up with my weeding. But there's some right there. Over here, here's in these black tubs. They're actually fabric planters, but these are the potatoes. They're Yukon Golds. The red potatoes. Actually, these are purple potatoes. And then the tricolor carrots. I planted them late, so they're not quite as ready. This pile right here that might look like a bit of a mess, but these are actually cilantro seeds that I'm also growing for next year. And if you can see, there's if I could zoom in and right, you can see there's some seeds in there, and it's drying, and I'm waiting for it. Actually, let's go look at this one. This is about ready to pick, so I can just peel it out and let's see, there. And that's the cilantro seeds. You can use it for seasoning, or you can use it as is and keep it in, for your next year's bounty. So yeah. And here's the flowers for the arugulas that I'm also trying to get seeds out of. And here's some Chinese cabbage. These are some Chinese cabbage. I've already harvested one huge one and gave it to a friend, and she was very happy with it. But these are growing great. They're so green, and these these cabbages are really good for soup, especially beef bone soup, and we use them as also in many soups as well in the Philippines. And so the update on my pumpkin, zucchini, watermelon patch. As you can see, there's a lone cantaloupe that's growing pretty well, and I think this is the only one I've had. These are watermelons, some baby watermelons I see, and there's some zucchinis. There's a pumpkin here, so hopefully they're gonna be okay. Some yellow zucchinis. I've got a bunch already, and I've given a bunch already to neighbors and friends. So I'm gonna be harvesting some of these to give away too, because my freezer is full. And here. And so on these teepee, this is my pea pods that are climbing up on this teepee, and they're almost done for the season. There's just a few green areas left, but as you can see, the pods are getting dry and are ready to be harvested for next year's plant. So I've already gotten a bunch of these peas and enjoyed them this summer, and these right here that I left to dry is for next year's plants. So this one's quite not ready yet. They're green, but you can just dry them off. If you have this kind of peas in your garden, these are shelling peas, which you can use the seeds or the peas inside the pods as a seed for next year. Then you should have a very good harvest. And so here's my broccolini. I let them grow so that I can have seeds for next year. So I will have plenty. And these are the broccolis. They're just starting to pop again. I've already harvested a few. If you can see that old stem that's turned brown, that's the original broccoli there. And when you harvest the broccoli, there's usually just new broccolis that pops out on the side, and so the middle part, which is the main part, stays brown and dried out. So here's a few more. See, these ones are just starting to pop out. This is a clear visual of the harvested broccoli. So on these plants, there's usually these little shoots here that comes out and starts a new broccoli. And here's some of my cabbage. I also have some pear, and this is a semi-dwarf Bartlett pears, and it looks like it just needs a couple more weeks or so and they'll be ready. So there's a bunch in there in just one little tree, and we planted them about 2 years now. My boys and I planted them together with the apple trees over here and the cherry tree, cherry, apricot, and pear. This tree is a combination of cherry, peaches, and some apricots that we just harvested a couple weeks back. And now the peaches are what's left in this tree. Yeah, this is a combo of cherry, apricot, and peaches. And the peaches are almost ready. They're not as quite as ripe yet, but they're getting very close. Thanks for watching our video, and make sure to like and subscribe for more videos. Thanks. Bye.